Hey boys, thanks for watching the video. Since we're moving from 9v9 to 11v11, I wanted to send you a video about our formation, the positions, and some basic tactics. To start with, we're going to be playing a 4-4-2 system, which means we'll have 4 defenders in the back, our 2 center backs, left back and right back. In the midfield, we'll have a diamond shape. We'll have one defensive back, one defensive midfielder, one attacking midfielder, and then a left and right midfielder. And then we'll play with 2 strikers up top. The reason I chose this formation is because it is very attack-minded and it suits our players. One thing I want to make clear is that we don't have offense and defense. All of our players attack and all of our players defend. We just start at different points on the field. Another reason I chose this formation is because most of our opponents will be playing a 4-3-3 formation. It's very common these days, and most teams play that formation. Because we'll be in a 4-4-2, we will have 4 midfielders against their 3 midfielders, which should give us an advantage. The only problem we'll have is defending the outside flanks. If their outside backs push up, our outside midfielders will have to fill in to cover. As I was saying earlier about all players being attacking and defending players, this formation really depends on the outside backs getting forward to support our attack from the wide areas. In this scenario, we have our left back making a run up the side with the ball. This would require our defensive midfielder to slide over and fill in while our left back is making an attacking run. When our keeper has the ball, either in his hands or for a goal kick, we would like to try to build the ball out from the back. And by that we would have our center backs almost even with the 6, our outside backs stretched to the touchline, and our defensive midfielder at the top of the 18. I'll give you an example of how I would like to build the ball out from the back. A simple ball to our center back, and then again to our outside back. At this point, our outside back would try to find our midfielder and maybe do a give and go down the line here. And then our number 9, our striker, would make a diagonal run and we could play through to him. This is just an example of how we can build out from the back. All of this depends on if the opposing team is pressing us or not. If they're pushing their midfielders up higher because we're trying to build out from the back, then that would be a key for us to go long from the goal kick or punt the ball to where we would have a numerical advantage in the midfield. We're not going to try to force it, but I would like the boys to learn how to build out from the back. Another topic I wanted to discuss is defending long balls, either from a goal kick in this instance or a punt from a goalie. This is a clip from the last World Cup, Brazil versus Mexico. Brazil is taking a goal kick. The ball is going to come out to their left wing here. And what I want you to focus on is the defending Mexico's doing. They'll send one player to the ball, and then one player behind the ball. So we'll always say one to the ball, one behind. The header is actually won by Brazil, plays it backwards, but the Mexican defender is there to clean it up. Another topic I wanted to discuss is making diagonal runs rather than straight runs. When the ball is in midfield, like it is here with our right midfielder, most youth players feel it necessary to make runs straight towards goal, which doesn't really help us in this situation because there's no path to pass the ball. What is needed in this case, and in most cases when the ball is behind you, is a diagonal run. This creates a passing lane for our right midfielder to find our striker in space, in which he can turn, dribble, or pass the ball. I'll show you an example now. In this example, the Mexican midfielder just won the ball, and the Mexican striker, rather than making a run towards goal, makes a diagonal run outside to create space, where he then receives the pass. Here's another example from the same game. This time, Brazil's on the ball. Their midfielder wins the ball in midfield, and their striker makes a diagonal run inside this time. He doesn't receive the pass, but what he does is pull this defender with him and creates a huge lane for the midfielder to continue the attack. It's a very unselfish play by the striker, but it needs to be done to create the space for the midfielder to attack.